Fever down! Bow, bow, bow!
Man, I think it's the next step up mentality as far as players. Our shifts keep changing. Everybody doing a different role, and so I think we all got the mentality where you give and you sacrifice, and I think that's what y'all see.
Without Caitlin Clark on the court against a Dallas Wings team eager for an upset and fresh off a crushing defeat to the Sparks the night before, everything seemed doomed. The 49-person crowd arrived expecting to see Clark play Paige Bueckers for the first time in the WNBA, but instead they witnessed something even more amazing. What transpired in those final minutes will forever alter your perception of this Fever team, and Aliyah Boston's 6 words following the game perfectly encapsulated why this victory is so important. If you agree with the Fever comment, I've got the Fever down below. Let's go.
Go.
Yeah, I think for us, it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs. And they made their run in that third quarter. And honestly, just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working on. And so for us, that was our focus, is get a stop, go down and score, get another stop, and we try to get a kill.
Imagine this huge buildup that had the entire WNBA community talking about Clark versus Bueckers, the 2024 first pick versus the 2025 top pick. This wasn't just any regular season game. It was the matchup that everyone had been anticipating since draft night. The Dallas Wings knew they had something special in the works, so they made the big decision to move the game from College Park Center, where they usually play, to the American Airlines Center, where the Mavericks play. For a moment, you don't just move a game to a 20,000-seat arena unless...
Finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today. It really is a day-to-day thing, and I think for us, making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness. It's anybody who's had some of these types of injuries understand that sometimes it's a process. She's a quick healer, and she's been doing everything that she can to get back on the floor. So, we just want to make sure that we're hypersensitive to the big picture.
The season's most anticipated matchup abruptly becomes a huge question mark when Boom Clark's groin injury flares up 2 nights prior to the game. Thousands of fans purchased tickets expressly to watch these two face off, and now the primary attraction may not even play.
I feel a disappointment for them more than anything because, you want them to see her at her best and us at our best. I hate that for fans, but at the same time, again, for us as a team and for Caitlin as a person and player, her health and wellness is the priority.
Dallas was licking their chops. They knew exactly what happened when the offense becomes predictable without Clark, Boston is forgotten about, and the entire system collapses. This seemed like the ideal chance for the Wings to take aim at a wounded team that had been having trouble, but this is what no one anticipated. They set a new Texas women's basketball attendance record without even guaranteeing that the main attraction would take the court. Consider what that says about the strength of this rivalry and the development of women's basketball. Even though Clark was not confirmed to play, 49 people showed up.
I think the biggest thing for us is our attention to detail in our screening. We've got to be great screeners. We got to make sure we slow down and use our screen and our spacing. We've had some games where our spacing has been poor, and that has not allowed Kelsey to get downhill, and it hasn't allowed space for Aliyah to get going either. So I think that the 2 most important things for us right now offensively is attention to detail and screening and spacing.
Coach Stephanie White surprised everyone by starting Ari McDonald for the first time, completely altering the lineup that everyone had anticipated. And no one knew what to anticipate from this new look when the Wings entered that game believing they had a wounded animal surrounded. What followed would provide insight into this Fever crew that the first quarter begins, and something truly amazing happens. The Fever don't just survive without Clark on the court. They completely explode right out of the gate. Ari McDonald brings this energy that nobody saw coming. She's pushing the pace like her life depends on it. Even their biggest fans were unaware that they were there. Charles.
We'll start Ari today. We'll start her and bring Sid off the bench a little bit. I don't want to take Kelsey out of what she naturally does instinctually on the wing and overload her from a point guard perspective. So with having Ari and having Sid, they'll give us a couple different looks right there.
Clark isn't even playing. Dallas enters into this game believing they can just concentrate on stopping, but she's involving everyone in ways that make you forget that. Mitchell, Kelsey, that is their entire strategy. close Mitchell, and watch the Fever go away. But all of a sudden, they're facing McDonald's downward attack, for which they weren't prepared. She's causing total mayhem for the Wings defense and opening lanes that haven't been there all season.
Charles can't finish.
Gotta finish that.
Oh, beautiful pass. McDonald counted in one.
Run.
This is what makes it even more incredible. McDonald makes flawless field goals in the first quarter, not just making baskets, but also executing deft plays that open doors for everyone else. It is rare to witness such execution, but the Fever begin the game by making their first 7 consecutive shots.
Can't finish.
As a big, you gotta lean in. You can't be falling away.
McDonald has been outstanding.
Aliyah the Wings must pay attention to McDonald's speed because it gives Boston more space to operate down low, where she scores quickly and grabs rebounds like she's been waiting for this entire season. Boston is finally starting to get the touches she sorely needs, and you can actually see her confidence growing with each possession as she puts the ball in positions where she can cause damage.
Inside, can't get it. Lee Yu-Ru can't. Here comes Natasha Howard. 9-0 run for Indiana. Lexi Hull carries the three. You gotta get out on her, ladies. She's shooting 51% from beyond the arc.
This is a run.
The audience that came to see Clark take on Beckers is seeing something quite different. They're seeing a team learn what they are capable of when everyone pitches in together. This isn't about one player bearing the burden. By the end of the first quarter, Indiana leads 33-13. Take a moment to process that they have outscored Dallas by 20 points in 12 minutes, and even the Dallas fans are getting up to cheer the basketball they are watching. You don't often see that level of respect from opposing fans.
Shooting to open the game. The Wings are only 2 of 14. Howard lobs it inside Boston, and Maisha Hines-Allen got lost. Allowed for the easy 2.
And you down to Natasha, and she's going to get in the paint. And so the defense has to step up to protect the drive, and now she puts that air on the ball, and AB is able to finish that shot at the rim. That was beautiful.
During this stretch, Kelsey Mitchell begins to heat up, but she isn't forcing anything. Instead, the ball movement makes it simple for everyone on the court to see Mitchell. This wasn't just about replacing Clark's output on the scoreboard. It was also about the Fever realizing what they could become when everyone came together. The foundation was set for something truly special, but the real test was still ahead of them, and that's where the story really gets good. She scored 10 points in the first quarter alone, but she's doing it within the flow of the offense. Dallas begins to fight back hard, and all of a sudden, this comfortable lead begins to erode quickly as the Wings figure out how to get past the Fever's defense and begin making shots that they didn't make in the first quarter. You can sense the momentum changing in a way that unnerves Fever supporters. Paige Beckers starts to put on a spectacular display, scoring 27 points and creating WNBA history with a flawless stat line that leaves everyone speechless. Dropping Beckers makes history as the first player to score 25 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 0 turnovers in one game is the type of play that transforms careers and wins games.
This is what they do. Yep. Sometimes you're going to have some back-to-back games. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get in the gym and practice. You got it.
Huh.
Good night.
And again, the veteran schools the rookie.
When Clark is off the court, the speed slows down and the ball stops moving, which is precisely where the Fever usually goes away. The Wings decrease the advantage to single digits, and you can feel the old worry spreading across the arena. Players begin to rush and make poor choices. Everything that went wrong against the Sparks the previous evening begins to resurface during the game, but Kelsey Mitchell doesn't let it get away from her and enters full takeover mode, making shots that would make Clark proud. Mitchell makes 11 of 17 field goals, scores 32 points, and provides 7 assists. More significantly, she consistently makes the correct move down the court, providing opportunities for her teammates while controlling the offense.
Paige is just such a smart player. She reads defensive well. She knows how to pick you apart. And so when you play against her, you have to make sure that you're aware of where she is at all times. And also she does a great job of putting her teammates in great position. So for us, I mean, I feel like it's kind of similar in college and in the league. Like Paige is just playing great basketball and making sure that she sets up her teammates for the same.
In crucial situations, Aliyah Boston excels. She makes defensive stops when they are absolutely necessary and pulls down rebounds to keep possessions alive. Boston finishes with 21 points on 9 of 14 shots, including all 3 of her free throws. The crowd is going crazy as she performs all the small tasks that championship teams require of their star players. They are witnessing 2 teams that will not back down and trade big shots like in a heavyweight fight, with neither team willing to give an inch. The atmosphere in that arena is electrifying in a way that only occurs during special games.
Every little thing matters.
Mitchell gives it up. Natasha Howard, beautiful shot. Howard with a double-double of 12 and 11. Indiana by 6.
With just a few minutes remaining, Boston looks at the Fever supporters strewn all over the arena. You can see something click in her eyes. She would go on to explain that every game is a home game and that the Fever jerseys are everywhere, creating energy that travels with this team. Mitchell and Boston combine for the final push that seals the 94-86 victory, proving that this team has championship-level heart when it counts most. Mitchell takes charge of the fourth quarter and makes every play the Fever needs to win. Once the game is over, Aliyah Boston approaches the microphone and gives a concise 6-word summary of what just transpired. Reporters want to know how the Fever handled the strain of playing without Clark and how they managed to pull off this amazing victory over a Dallas club that had every reason to think they would win handily. With his eyes fixed on the camera, Boston declares, "Every game is a home game." Everything that transpired in that stadium, the enthusiasm, the confidence, and the way the squad performed as though they belonged on that stage suddenly made sense when those 6 words struck a different note.
Incoming! In!
Yo, great job. Okay, great job. We weathered a storm. We found some toughness in the fourth quarter to be able to get stops and to execute, right? We grew tonight. I mean, it really, everybody just good stuff, okay? Good stuff all around. It's a big time win for us on a back-to-back at the end of a tough road trip, so good stuff.
Hey, one more. Coach's 100th.
All right, let's go.
Here we go! Together, 3, 1, 2, 3!
It wasn't just about winning without Clark on the court. It was about demonstrating that the bond between this team and their supporters goes deeper than any one player. She describes how Fever fans travel everywhere they go and create that energy no matter what arena they're playing in. During the game, you could see it. There were Fever jerseys scattered throughout the crowd, cheers that grew louder every time Indiana made a big play, and standing ovations from sections full of fans who traveled from Indiana just to support their team. Boston discusses how fans could visit they came expecting to see Clark play Beckers for the first time, but instead they witnessed something even more special than the matchup they had come to see. They saw a team find its identity. They saw players step up when their star needed them most, and they experienced the kind of basketball that makes fans for life.
There were a lot of Fever fans today at the game. What does it mean to you to just have their presence with you wherever you go?
Every game is a home game. I think you see that. People show up, they show out. I think it's great for this league, just people continuing to come to games and watch, because I think when people show up to watch a game, they might have came for one person, but they leave liking many more. And so I think that's the way you look at it, right? You've had this arena that's filled and people are coming in, they're like, whoa, I like her, she's tough. And so I think it's just great for the game.
In her own interview, Kelsey Mitchell reflects this notion, describing how the team's confidence increases upon seeing those Fever shirts in the stands. These 6 words became the rallying cry that demonstrated that this team's identity extends well beyond their superstar. Mitchell says that the team's ability to overcome obstacles and create opportunities becomes easier because of that support. It also creates this positive feedback loop, where the players give the fans something to cheer about, and the fans energize the players. It's about a bond between family members that cannot be severed by hardships or injuries. It concerns supporters who think that there is more to the game than just one player. Boston's remarks encapsulated a powerful aspect of this franchise's development. When your supporters travel far and wide to give you a home court advantage wherever you play, you've created something unique that transcends victories and defeats.
Likewise, I take pride in wanting to see people I've never seen before. So when you see different players that you admire and they want to support us, it's kind of like, oh man, they actually take heed to what we do and what we bring to the table as a league. Like she said, you kind of like appreciate the fact that people want to watch us play, and it kind of brings confidence to the game, so to speak. So it's a really good thing.
This victory wasn't just about defeating Dallas. It was also about the Fever realizing they were destined for something special in 2025 and beyond. They improved their record to 8 wins and 8 losses and took 3rd place in the Eastern Conference, which puts them 4 games behind New York and 2 behind Atlanta when Clark returns healthy. Demonstrated their ability to step up when it counts most, which makes them dangerous. The future appears bright because they've created something unstoppable. If you support the Fever, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss it. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next game. The Commissioner's Cup Championship game against Minnesota is coming up, followed by a 5-game homestand in Indianapolis.
Did you kind of feel a sense of urgency there that the team responded to, I guess?
Great use of the word urgency. That's honestly been the topic of conversation for us, is making sure that we have a sense of urgency on the offensive end, on the defensive end. And once again, leads did slip away in this game and last game, but for us it's about making sure that we turn that page, we get back the lead, we keep it, we get big defensive stops. And you understand, once again, it's a game of runs, and you just have to make sure that you have the best one at the end.